There we go. Record. Excellente. My name is Kelby Smith, Executive Director at HISAdvocates. I want to thank you and to welcome you. And this is our Q&A. We do it every other Monday, 4 p.m. Pacific. I answer questions. I would ask that you make your questions available under the Q&A section right here on the bottom of the screen, or over on YouTube land. You can type them out and I'll look over there and I'll get to them. I do want to go out to dinner tonight, so try to keep them short, sweet, concise, and to ones I've never addressed 1,450 times, and I think you'll be okay, right? Right? Anyway, I have posted 2,500 questions to hisadvocates.org, plus or minus a couple hundred. I don't count. I didn't count them. And we do a variety of different topics, like we categorize them by IRS, foundation, different things like that. I do have a first question I want to direct on IULs, infinite banking, but I'll get to that in just a minute. I want to talk to you guys really quickly. What do you think of my new desk? I mean, I'm standing here and I'm enjoying it because I was having all this back pain. And because I was sitting down, kind of backing up, looking up, leaning back, all that stuff. And then my legs started shooting pain like about 2 weeks ago. And I got to do something about this. I got to stand so I can lose some of this body fat, straighten my back out, feel better about life. So what do you think? It's beautiful, huh? I know you can't see it. It's just whatever. I'm enjoying it. Stand up desk. Oh, and it goes up and down automatically. I got all the wires all knocked out, so it's not gonna, worry. I don't worry about the computer or anything like that. So I'm actually pretty stoked right now because I've sat down and I've brought it down a little bit. Anyway, so I got a treadmill coming in on Friday. It'll support 340 pounds. I'm not saying I'm that much weight, but it's pretty close. Not that close, but you know what I mean. I'm three bills almost. I'm 292, and I'm 6 foot. I was 6'3" now. But nevertheless, I'm going to be on one of those walking treadmills, like where I walk really slow while I work all day long. And I'm going to do standing squats and just start. Oh, check it out. Have y'all seen this? Bionic gym. I'm not making any money on advertising this, by the way, although I should. Bionic gym straps to your legs and it shoots like a tens, like those tens things into your legs. And I guess after an hour, you've dumped, you know, 800 calories and you're sweating head to toe. So I'm like, wait a minute. I can stand here at my desk and I can work and work out. I'm like, I'm down. So I'm going to keep you guys posted as to how it works. I have not had the time to read the manual. Kind of a fatty, but I guess I got to customize some stuff on it. But I'm looking forward anyway. Um, I know you guys are enjoying my personal stuff, so I'm trying to think. There was something I didn't want to talk to you guys about. Oh, I freaking told you. I've been talking about XRP, XLM, XDC for years, and we finally had the bull run, and we're at the beginning. So for all you people that listen to me and got yourself a bag of XRP, high five. Told you, high five. And we're just at the beginning. So check this out. This is kind of the play for the people that think it's too late. Relax, it's not. You're still in a good time, still in a good position. A lot of people are sitting there and they're talking about a couple of things. I really want to get this addressed, and I'm probably going to split this off to be its own video after the fact because I really think people need to get this down. A lot of arguments out there about should I dissolve my IUL and keep my money in an infinite banking or an IRA, and I'm going to label them all. self-directed, whatever you want to call it, and make my 10%, my 20%, whatever per year, use my tax deferred this, my tax deferred that. And I'm like, no. I'm like, if you're a US citizen, it's cool, but no. And here's why. Um, I have been saying this for years. I didn't start saying this yesterday, but I've been saying the devaluation of the dollar has been going on for years behind our back. So when you see an increase in prices across the board of gold and silver and different things like crypto's brand new. I know people think it's 12 years, 15 years old. Crypto is brand new. It's an alternative form of banking on a private side where you can actually have a ledger, have your own private wallet, be about this big, something about half this size, and you're holding the money on you. Money that everybody in the world agrees has a value. Why do I want to do that, Kelby? Well, because your US dollar is nothing but paper, anyways, and it's paper that devalued 25% last year alone. Let me say it a little slower. In Mexico, in Cabo, they said they revalued the dollar and the purchasing power of the dollar by 25% down last year. So everything in Mexico went up, meaning from a standpoint of cost, it cost 25% more with the US dollar to buy the same thing in Mexico the year before. And they didn't change the price for Mexicans because the peso didn't change. It was the dollar that changed. So if you wanted to go down and buy 100% of something, it was going to cost you now $125 versus a $100 bill. And it's the same principle. You have your money in your retirement account. You have your money in your annuity. I have been saying for years, listen to me, take your money out of your annuity now. I've been saying this for years. I've been on the hilltop announcing this. Take the hit, the 20% hit, the tax hit right now. Stop worrying about the diversion of taxable capital. Stop worrying about your IUL, whatever it's called, infinite banking, whatever it's called, those things that you think are super important because number one, it's all a part of a bankruptcy that is being liquidated right now and devalued right now. By accident? No, of course not. But when you have an investment like on Wall Street in dollars and your investment made 12% for the year or 20%, guess what? You took a 5% loss last year on your investment. You didn't take and make money. You lost money because the purchasing power of the dollar went down 25% last year. And you made 20%, that means you're -5. If you would have done what we told you to do at HISAdvocates or what I told you to do, which is what I did, I don't keep dollars. Dollars are worthless to me. As a matter of fact, we used to be a lot more for our purchase, our product price, and we keep coming down, even though the the amount of money that it takes to do what we do hasn't changed. The purchase price for the living in the private program used to be totally different than what it was, like almost double what it was a few years ago because we've gotten things organized and we have the ability to take care of people. So we're not going up on our purchase price, but you know what? Inflation is taking our dollar value away. Like what it used to be 5 years ago is not what it was today. I'm going to say it's probably down 50%, 60% or more. How do you know that? Groceries. How do you know that? Foreign exchange. It's simple. So I'm out there, and I've been saying this to my lady for 5 years. By the way, we're celebrating our 5-year reunion Wednesday. I've been saying this to her for 5 years. Last night, we're out to dinner with a private pilot. He's a guy that flies the billionaires around, G5s, Falcons, all that kind of, all those airplanes. That's what he does for a living. He spent the last 40 years, flying rich people around, and he sees what they do. He's seen the worst, he's seen the best, but he's been to every country, and he's spent time in Russia. He spent time all over the place, and he explained what they did in Russia. And I'm like, thank you. And Maddie, my lady, says, "Oh my God, are you kidding me? This is what Kelby has been talking about. All the people in Russia the the ones that knew about this at the time because they didn't have crypto at the time. What were they to do with their money that was about to be revalued, just like the dollar? The dollar's been a slow approach revalue, but it's going to be a fast going one pretty quick here. What are they to do? And they've done this in multiple countries, not just Russia, where they take the dollar, they take 3 zeros off of it, or the ruble, and it's worth nothing the next day. So what did the power guys do? They went with their money to Europe when it still had value. They exchanged it, and then the ruble crashed, and then they brought their dollars back from Europe and bought up, and were all multi millionaires overnight. That's simple. Is it that simple? Yeah, it's that simple. So the dollar, let's just say, for example, the United States is in a bankruptcy. HJR 192, 1933. House Joint Resolution 192, an act of Congress bankrupting the United States in 1933. The United States is being liquidated right now to foreign venues, foreign interests. I get it. Trump's trying to stop all this. This is a mechanism of law that cannot be stopped. You have to let go of the United States, and you have to convince all of America that it's a good thing to come back into republic. That is the only way to save this thing. But I'm not talking about that right now. What I'm talking about is, how do you get the fact that your annuities, your bank accounts, your infinite banking, retirement accounts, your wealth management accounts, your whole life, your universal life, all of your cash driven, cash rich bank or insurance policy accounts, how can you tell me that you're safe in those accounts right now? You cannot. As a matter of fact, if it's tied to USD, you are screwed, glued, and tattooed. You've lost 25% of the value, no matter how much you are insured by, no matter how much cash value you have. Do you get it? The only way to win is to get your cash out of the United States and get it into a hard asset. Real estate is not the asset that everybody says to buy. Do not buy real estate right now. Okay. And if you do buy real estate, it's your own. You're making an ass out of yourself because you have no idea what you're buying. If I went to your portfolio of real estate as a real estate broker and I looked at your deeds, I would show you on your deeds you own nothing. I would show you that you are a glorified account holder with a bank. Okay? I'm not trying to be mean. It's we have a deed program that we do, that we show people how to redo their deeds so that they are truly an owner of the land. Because you don't own land if you have a legal description on your deed. Period. And it's just common sense. It's the law. It's not Kelby, my opinion, my whatever. But my point is taking the dollars from the United States and transferring them to real estate is not a good move right now. It's a great move when the market shifts. It's a great move. Right now, a good move, and I know a lot of people don't want to hear this: gold, silver, and crypto. Crypto that is going to be tagged or monitored or subjected to world structure control. 20022 compliant cryptos. I've been saying this for years. XRP, 98.5% owned by the banks, 1.5% owned by the Kelbys. Well, actually, I don't own anything, but you know what I mean. Why is this so critical? Getting it out of the ruble and into a foreign country's account that's solid, let the crash happen, and then come back in and play however you want. You want to buy up that Fed coin now, whatever they're offering that day, go for it. Every single country, every single corporation masquerading as a country is switching it up right now from their current feasible fiat currency, which no country has fiat currency. It's all based on people. Okay. meaning you are the collateral, you are the surety. If you are not a state citizen, you are the collateral, you are the surety for the debt of a defunct corporation named the United States. It goes for everybody in the world. Every single country in the world, country, meaning corporation, look this up, okay? I showed Canada 3 weeks ago on a show how it's listed as a foreign country under the SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission. I showed 2 years ago Australia Republic. You can just type any country you want and look at the registration under the SEC. What they do is they take all of the birth certificates, all of them. This is me. It was a live born record. Okay, my mom signed it as informant, one who turns one over as parent. Parent is a judicially decreed guardian. Right there. Parent, informant, signature. Above it, she was mother. Maiden name of mother. Below in the signature, it's parent, informant, not the father's signature. The parent. And why do they go after the mom? Where's the dad on my BC? You think this stuff doesn't matter, whatever? You know, there's attorneys out there. This is foolishness. This is retarded. What a conspiracy theory. What a, no, bro. That is a QSIP registered security traded on Wall Street. Okay. That is listed under the Securities and Exchange Commission as a commodity, as a security, period. And every company, corporation in the world, meaning country, with Australia Republic tagged to it is registered under the Securities and Exchange Commission under the United States. In the United States, the whore of the world, Babylon, right here, is trading the assets, the equivalent of all of you. All of you are debtors. U.S. citizens are debtors. That is a debtor. That is the U.S. citizen. The birth certificate is the U.S. citizen. You're holding the office. You can't prove otherwise. You are a perfect employee. You cannot prove otherwise unless you've gone through our program. Why am I saying it like this? Because your IUL, your annuity, your retirement accounts, your bank accounts are all subject to seizure. And they're doing it like a lobster right now. They put the water on the stove, the lobster's thinking it's taking a nice bath. It's just smooth and just got the soap going on right now. Well, just lathering. It's getting hotter. It's getting hotter. Next thing you know, sizzling, cooked, and you didn't even see it coming. That's how they're nailing us. Only what's going to happen is going to be a lot quicker, a lot more damaging. And I don't know how it exactly is going to play out, but it's going to play out like every other country. They're going to add a few zeros, collapse the dollar, offer a Fed coin, and here's what you get for it. Oh, and by the way, if you want to receive any, you need to have this little chip or this mark embedded in your right hand or your forehead. Oh, you think I'm kidding? No, I don't. Don't check me on that one. Okay, because that's not just a biblical thing. That's something that these guys like Klaus Schwab, World Economic Forum, homosexual Klaus Schwab, the main guy running all the show, who wears negligees on the beach and walks around with all of his friends. That guy who's running the show for his whole entire life, who's working with Yuval Harari and all the bankers, the banking cartel, the families, to bring you an embedded chip. And the chip number is 060606. You think I'm kidding? I'm not kidding in the slightest. Anyway, I'm only saying this to you guys because this is cool stuff and we're ahead of it. And if you were listening and you had some XLM in your portfolio, you went up 500%, 5x. If you had 100 grand, you're now 500. If you had some XRP and you were 50 grand, you're now 150 grand in 3 weeks. And it's going to go up like crazy. We're at the very beginning of a huge market shift. All you have to do is ride the wave, but do it properly. Come out of her. Get your foundation structure, be in the private. I'm saying this because it's super important right now. A lot of you guys are on the cuff. We have a big special going on this week. Big special. Call us toll free 844 HISAdvo 844-452 or 447-2386 844-447-2386 844 HISAdvo dial extension 705. We are doing a special this week to help people get out. All right. Now you know why you don't want an IUL, so that you can make yourself a loan so you don't have to pay taxes on the loan on a product that buys more life insurance for tax deferred benefits. It's a perfect. I love the concept of infinite banking. Love it. Love it if you're a US citizen. But I don't love it because it's teaching people to put all their money into an account that's losing its value on an annualized basis. And everybody thinks they're doing something great, and they are. But what you don't see is you're a cooking lobster. You're not seeing that. And I get it. You don't want to see it. You got 100 grand in your retirement account, and you know what? It's now 80 grand of value. It's actually 77 grand of value of what it was, or 75 grand of value of what it was. It was actually 23 to 25% of loss of value of the dollar, depending on your country. Think about this, guys. Why do you want your money in your retirement? If you would have listened to me last year, you would have taken the hit last year. It would have been painful. And you would have got all your stuff handled by now and put it into crypto, put it into gold and silver. Gold went up a third. It went from 2 grand, $1,700 to whatever it is today. I haven't looked today, 27, 28, 26, whatever. It went up almost $1,000. Gold. Silver, the best asset you could buy in the world, silver, by far, unless they are able to create it, which I saw some videos on YouTube that was pretty damn compelling. I don't know if it's the truth, but some guy was showing how he can make his own silver. I'm like, what? So look that one up, and that could be a cause or a reason for the valuation of silver remaining pushed down. Just like natural diamonds and synthetic or grown diamonds. There's only one way you can tell the diamond across. The board is different. It's because the natural diamond glows under fluorescent light. The grown diamond does not glow. But the grown diamond has a better cut, better finish, better feature, looks beautiful, and it's 1/10 the cost, 1/7 the cost. That's why I'm out of the diamonds. I'm not into the diamond market. Because if you can grow one, you know why the grown diamonds have any value at all? Because De Beers, they own the whole market. Okay, that's why. Okay, you know why gold is a constant and gold is gold actually going up in value? No. You know what? Proof that the dollar is shrinking, gold has gone up in value comparing itself to the dollar. Gold is it's physical. You know, this isn't gold, but it's physical. It does not change in value. It's the perception of the dollar that changes around the gold. So gold being the constant cannot change. It's the same now as it was 100 years ago. It's a different mind shift. But 100 years ago, gold was valued at $20. Or was it that an ounce of gold was worth $20? There you go. Now an ounce of gold is worth $2,800 because the valuation of the dollar has changed that much. It's not because gold changed. Didn't get any bigger, didn't get any smaller, didn't change texture, color, form, nothing. The only thing that changed was the dollar around it. So when you look at gold just last year at $1,770, whatever it was, And then you look at gold today at 2,700, that tells you that we're at 30 to 33% of a reduced price or reduced valuation of the US dollar compared to 1 year ago today. That's pretty true. The reality is there's a lot of savvy investors out there getting in front of it and driving the traffic and driving the price of gold up as well. But the reality is gold doesn't change in value. The valuation of the dollar does. So there you go. Get out, take your hits, grab that 100 grand and go and buy XLM, XRP, XDC. Do not buy Bitcoin. I don't care if Bitcoin 10X over the next several years. That's just my opinion. Run from Bitcoin. Run from Ethereum. Just my opinion. You know, you may be pissed off at me when you see it 10X, but if you get into XRP, XLM, XDC, and there's a few others, you can really ride a market to where you're seeing 100 or 1,000X. And I say this from the bottom of my heart, stop dicking around. I know I cussed. Was that cussing? Dicking is kind of like a name. So I guess not. No, so that's okay. Don't be an ass. It's in the Bible. It's the name of a donkey. Is that cussing? I don't think so. I'm being I'm being very serious when I know I just don't want to get angry right now. I don't I'm yelling at off the mountain, get your crap together. Get your poo-poo together and take the hit because the dollar it's gone. Not getting it back. It's not coming back. As a matter of fact, the stock market is going to look like it's going to go up and up and up and up. It's called a reverse. It's a reverse inflation of all inflation. It's going to seem like everything is getting better. No, it's what's going on is the valuation of the dollar is getting less and less and less and less, and you're going to see the markets going through the roof, and everybody's going to say, "Oh, look how great this is," and let's go get into crypto and this and that and the other, and then the purchasing power of your dollar is going to be negligent, and it could be an overnight thing. Um, it could absolutely shoot off, a rocket with a warning flag across the front. Do this. I mean, that's what these guys do. You go watch The Simpsons. I don't watch The Simpsons, but I've seen enough replays of The Simpsons to know that they know something. Okay. They predicted how Robin Williams was going to die, how Kobe was going to die, Trump's presidency, and I can go on and on and on. You know what else they predicted? XRP and cryptocurrency. Okay. Go look this stuff up. How are they getting their stuff? It's called disclosure. Whatever it is they're doing, it's called disclosure. Anyway, let's get to some questions. And it's 4:30. That was my diatribe. Can you recommend a divorce lawyer on the private side who understands private foundations? Submit a ticket and ask that question. I can recommend a name, but I don't know if he can help you in your state. Do you think the dinar will ever revalue? Oh God. For your sake, yeah, I hope it does. But I took 30 million or 40 million, whatever it was, in dinar and cashed it in about 4 years ago. So if it does, I'm going to feel like a JA, which is half the word that I said a few minutes ago. The reality is, I hope it does for a lot of people. I think it was a setup, and I think we all got set up on it. And if I were you, I would cash out of it and I would get into crypto as fast as you can. And I say that with all integrity and honesty based on a few videos that I have watched that blew my mind, that helped me to understand the setup and what they did to move the dinar around the world and immediately get it sold. And I don't see a big move on it or a big play on it because it is a physical currency. Now, could they take your dinar and replace it with a digital currency with a great value? Maybe. Is there a lot of speculation on the dinar or the yuan or these currencies out there that, yeah, but why would their paper be worth any different than our paper. You know what I mean? I get it that at one time, the value of an Iraqi dinar was one third the rate of a US dollar, and then it went to 1/1000 right after the war. I get it. Doesn't mean it's going back. That's what they did. They stripped three zeros off of Iraq overnight and gave a revaluation. Do you think they're going to go back automatically? Well, they needed to push the money throughout the world, and this guy told me why they did it, and it kind of blew my mind. So it immediately drew fear, and I got rid of all my dinar. I would call if I were you guys, do what you want. Don't be mad at me if it revalues, but don't put all your eggs in one basket unless it's got a little label on the side that says XRP. You know, I'm so sold out on XRP. Um, period. I am. Anyway, so take that for a grain of salt or do whatever you want with it, but that's what I did with a lot of dinar, and I bought a lot of crypto with it. Um, do you have a homemade private birth certificate, or can we use for our grandson being born in December? Yeah, if you're a member of the LPP, we can make some suggestions. We've done a few things. Yeah, just submit a support ticket over there. All right. Any other questions? Any update on the deed program? Yeah, the deed program, we're testing it out. We're printing it up right now. So if you are ready to go with it, Mark, let us know. Go and put it on your support ticket. We give you a link, you input information, and it spits you out the doc. We review the doc, clear the doc, and make sure it's correct comparative to the old deed with some of the issues on the old deed, or making sure that things are translated over to the new deed properly. But yes. Will the Bank of America Foundation account accept our work paychecks direct deposited made out to our personal name? How can it be direct deposited if it's made out? So is it a check or is it direct deposit? Because I can get anybody to direct deposit anything into a foundation account. Just FYI. What's up, Marcus? Don't be a hater, Marcus. We're going to connect and we're going to build that book and we're going to build that white paper and we're going to get the marketing done and it's going to be big and we're going to save the world together. You watch, buddy. Don't be a hater. It's been brutal. Do you know what it's like to be in pain and have a bunch of stuff on your desk you need to get done and you can't move? Well, I do. And it sucks. All right. Come on, guys. Give me some questions. Want to hear a story? Boiling frog. uh, yeah. Any other questions? Come on. Come on. All right. So, got to tell you a quick thing on XRP. Did the healthcare add dental and eye yet? Yes, Scarlett, it did. And it's up to 30 to 60% off, which is it's a discount program, but it's really a cool one. It's just like the RX. The RX pricing, it's not a discount, it's actually a plan, but it beats Costco's prices. So check it out. Check it out. And it's no additional cost. You are welcome. All right, so let me explain XRP a little bit. XRP is light years ahead of XLM, but the same principle. Same principle, somewhat as Y, same principle as a couple other companies. There's only a few companies out there that are interested in the model that Ripple, who owns XRP, not who owns, who created XRP. But Ripple, who's contracted with probably the majority of the banks and central banks around the world right now. There's speculation, and there's kind of like a little bit of a riff from Brad Garlinghouse from a few years ago and the current owners or president, excuse me, of SWIFT. SWIFT is an international settlements firm that settles 5 trillion a day. For any company to pick up and run the SWIFT program and move all that money instantly overnight, pennies on the dollar. There's only one company that has the ability to do that. They're out there labeling WISE, WISE, as the company that is working currently with SWIFT. However, this is what I have not had the time to look this up, in all of my investigation with the announcement from SWIFT, and I'm going to their site right now, where it talks about enabling global interoperability, and it talks about our successful blockchain interoperability experiments show how SWIFT's infrastructure can facilitate the transfer of tokenized value across public and private blockchains. Tokenized is taking this and giving it a digital equivalent, taking my birth certificate, giving it a digital equivalent value and number, giving my home, my cars, any asset that's in the real world is going to be tokenized. Art is already tokenized, meaning not all of it, but a lot of it. So they're taking everything that's in the physical realm and they're going to give it a digital realm equivalent and value. It's called tokenization. So when you talk about the valuation of the world, you're talking about hundreds of quadrillions of dollars. If XRP, listen, was to be the mainstream company, because there's only one that can do it, and that's XRP, Ripple. If XRP was to be the mainstream and to have market share of maybe 10% of moving these assets, well, the reality is going to be much bigger because a lot of companies are using the ledger that XRP, it's an open source ledger that they've created that allows for banks to create CBDCs, meaning their own central bank digital currency, allowing for countries to do the same, allowing for companies like Wise and different companies out there to build an entire structure over the ledger and make it look like it's theirs. So I've been really digging into this release of phase 1 and phase 2 of the CBDC sandbox projects that are being done right now by SWIFT. And I started looking at all the companies that they're aligned with. And I went to phase 1 and I looked at all the participators of who they are aligned with. And they named New Zealand Banking Group Limited, ANZ, BNP Paribas, Bank New York Mellon, Citi, Clearstream, Euroclear, Lloyds Bank Group, Six Digital. And all you got to do is take those companies and go to Google and ask, is Ripple and New Zealand Banking Group BNZ working together? And it says yes, they are working on cross-border payment projects. BNZ is one of 2 of New Zealand's big 4 banks, along with ASB and Westpac New Zealand. They're all involved in Ripple payments projects. I went to the next one, BNP Paribas. BNP Paribas is a partner of Medico, a Swiss crypto custody firm that Ripple acquired for $250 million in 2023. The acquisition allows Ripple to integrate Medico's technology into its network, which provides custody and digital asset management services. Then I went on to the next one, Bank New York Mellon. Bank New York Mellon is the largest custody bank in the world and has joined Ripple to drive forward tokenization. Hello. Ripple is so far ahead of the game. The only company that has kicked the rear end, for all you Christians out there, I said it right, of the SEC and is counted as an actual currency. and not a security. It's the only one that's passed the test of the only entity on the face, listen to me, the only entity on the face of the earth that manages all of it. All of the world's financial transactions as it relates to the stock exchanges of the world. All of it. All of it. The only one approved. The one that is going to pick up the business from Swift. If Ripple were to be fully announced, even if it were working through another company like Wise or one of these banks that they're doing their tests with, if Ripple were to be the back end system, which is the only one in the world that can do this and that has the relationships already with these banks that are currently on the experiments with Swift. If Ripple were to get the business on the ledger, even though Bank New York Mellon, even though Paribas, even though, uh, the Australian bank, the New Zealand bank, and all the banks listed that are contracted with Ripple because they built an open source ledger that the XRP runs through, in order to transact that business, the banks would have to all say and agree that Ripple's value would be X to make and facilitate the transaction. Why would the banks do that? Because they own the Ripple, the coin. And because Ripple, XRP, the company, is smart enough to structure it this way, and it's because of that so many people hate Ripple. Stop being a hater. Just get it on your hard wallet as fast as you can, even at $1.50, whatever it is today, as fast as you can. That's like Bitcoin at $1.50. And I say that with absolute, I think Bitcoin is going to scam trillions out of people's pockets. I think it could be used as the theft, the great theft of the world's transactions of the people, the great theft. But XRP, even though there's only 22 million Bitcoin and 100 billion in XRP, think about it. Think about what value XRP would be if it got a few quadrillion of a 200 quadrillion market. It's going to get way more than that. And there is independent people that have done nothing but study this in a big consortium, a big group, and they produced a report, and the report shows worst case scenario what the Simpsons said at 589, and best case scenario somewhere in the 500,000 per XRP coin value in the next years to come. You heard it right here. Okay. Do whatever you're going to do with that. Think about it. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. You know what? Look, just tell me where you're at. We'll pick you up on the chopper. You'll come over to the boat. We'll go surfing and then do a little ministry. Check out some islands and see what we can do to help some people and feeding them and live life. Serve God, live life. That's how I think. Whatever it takes. And I mean that, whatever it takes, because you can't take it with you. So stop thinking, you can buy all the jets and don't do that stuff. Just live life for God, but do it right. You know what? Spend as much as you can in helping people and making this thing happen. Anyway, let's see if we got any more questions. You mean to buy Ripple stock? No, but you can. No, I mean buy XRP. XRP is pretty much sold on every currency exchange. Where should we cash out our dinar for crypto? We can't cash it out for crypto, but you can cash it out, get a wire transfer from any number of online. Use the big ones with no complaints out there against them, and get it in ASAP and go to any exchange and buy crypto with it. Thomas, please list your questions. I don't want to go live with anybody right now. Por favor, senor. XRP, the next Bitcoin. No, XRP was number 2. It was the second most voluminous and valued more coin right next to Bitcoin. Bitcoin was the first. Bitcoin was created by the NSA. And I can prove that. And Bitcoin is, in my opinion, going to suck the world dry and collapse. And I just feel that with the bottom. I don't know why I feel that. I've heard it said a few times, but the way that once you find out who created it, that's all you need to know. It's not what it was. It wasn't created for the purposes that it's like, why? Well, okay, guys, look. If Bitcoin was truly what it was supposed to be for, something that nobody can control, decentralized, then why is it the first ETF? Because they control it, period. They know who made it, they know what it's for, and it was to create a likeness and a use case for people getting involved in digital currencies. Ripple, same thing. Ripple, at least they came out and they were honest. We're a coin for the banks, straight up. We want to help banks move money internationally in international settlement. That's who our client is. Our client is not people. This is what they've said up front. People hated them because they were helping the banks. Straight up. And then they got sued by the SEC. I think, yeah, it was a little bit of show, but $200 million later and a ton of arguments and 4 years of litigation, and it's almost complete. It was announced that Ripple is not a security and it's actually a currency. So think about it. Yeah, you get involved with cryptocurrency, guys, right now. Take your money out of the United States by moving it into gold, silver, crypto, guns, food. Get ready for whatever's going to hit. Your money in an IUL, in a retirement account, in a bank account doesn't serve you. Your bank should be at 0 or a little bit above that. And that's it. Do not keep money in the bank. But don't do what Robert Kiyosaki is doing. Yes, he's got 5,000 apartments. Yes, he's got a lot of wealth. But the reality is he's got more debt than anybody. And he could get caught in a position where everybody was in 2008. I don't know what saved his butt, but I'd love to hear his 2008 story. I don't believe in debt. That's just me personally. Because they built the whole system to borrow more money and more money and more money. Because that's how they make money, is you're borrowing. And it's not on the interest. It's money is created at the corner street bank the second you borrow it. So when you get 100 grand, the bank gets paid 100 grand. That's a fact, Jack. They get prepaid on every transaction because we are in a debt-based system. It's called the bankruptcy of the United States. We don't do Canadians, but you can pretty much, and I don't know enough about Canada land, and I'm not a broker in Canada. So, but you can take a copy of our deed if you're going through the living in the private program. We give people a copy of the deed, and you can see the difference of your deeds with what we can record here in our country. Reading video, or I'm reading your stuff. Can you speak on the whole life? Donna, I already did. I don't want to do it twice. So go back to the beginning of the video. People with insurance policies need to, I agree wholeheartedly. They're great if you're a US citizen and you're using these infinite banking policies to benefit yourself. If you're a US citizen, it's a great concept. If you are a state citizen, I don't agree with it all. But even if you are a US citizen, here's the problem one last time. They are crashing the dollar, and they're going to take any asset, including what money you have in those accounts. They are not protected. They're not in the name of a foundation. They're going to take whatever asset is tied to the bankruptcy of the United States and liquidate it. And even if they don't do that, they're going to crash the economy, and they're going to take the zeros, or they're going to do whatever they need to do. We're coming for a big crash and collapse of the United States like we've never seen before. Hmm. Everything sounds fishy, Cindy. Does entering credit card agreement contract, and if not, unless you're signing, but here's what I say about credit cards. You're helping them make money when you use a credit card instead of using cash on hand. You're really helping them make money, because every time a swipe out happens on a credit card, they get prepaid, and then they're making money, and then they're using that money for all the purposes of doing what they're doing. So yeah, I'm not saying that it will cause a jurisdictional position issue if you're a state citizen, but I am saying it's from a moral standpoint, you're keeping them going, and you're keeping the people oppressed kind of when we use the credit system. So just be careful. That's all. All right. Anything else? Any other questions? Let me look at the Q&A one more time. Do you recommend land be titled to a man or a foundation? Foundation, 100%. Private, unincorporated, unregistered. Does it really make any difference how it is titled? If it is still in the tax roll, 100%, because all kinds of things can be done once it's in the foundation. It can actually be removed from the tax roll based on the fact that it's a private church. Maybe if Kiyosaki was doing business in an LLC, then he could just go bankrupt in only that company. Correct. Do you help living in the private program for an Australian? I help with asset protection for Australians, but I can't help you become a state citizen in our nation. But I have helped many people that have come into our country, been gone through the naturalization process, and then move them over to state citizenship. The long form birth certificate is a whole life insurance policy on behalf of the estate. Our state on allows a church. Our state on allows a church 15 acres. It's only allows a church 15 acres. That's ridiculous. Anybody can be a church anywhere, and any church. There's any state that has a law that has been already determined for that state is something that can be utilized for any other state. And so you may want to look into it. So anytime that a church owns a piece of property like a house, um, it doesn't mean that that property is necessarily a church, but if the pastor of that church lives within that property, that church now becomes tax, or the house becomes tax exempt in California. So that would be um, something you can utilize for pretty much every state, or find the equivalent code for that state. How does child support and living in the private to be understood? How is child support and living in the private to be understood? I don't know. I don't understand that question. Rephrase the question, please. I was making an analogy between XRP and Bitcoin, but I'm thinking I may be missing a link in this conversation. However, I will rewatch this video and learn, hopefully, between both. You got it, Zinni. If you ever need help understanding, let me know. Hopefully this makes sense to you, which means I do understand at least some level. Okay. All right, guys. That's all the questions. Let me see over here. Now that you have your active state, what else can I do? All kinds. You just got to serve constructive notice now, and you are boom, 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 done. I'm waiting to retitle I'm wanting to retitle hundreds of acres in the States or in Canada. We can help you. It's pretty easy. It's actually, we actually have a service that we're going to be offering. Just go submit a support ticket. We'll give you a link to help you with that. All right, guys. Do me a favor. Jump all over this dialogue. Make it important to you. Go back and play it again. Make this important to you. Make it important to your family members. Be the hero of your neighborhood. be the first one to tell them, because many people haven't heard about a collapsing dollar. Many people haven't heard about a collapse happening whatsoever, or cryptocurrencies or anything. All you need to do to prove anything that I'm saying is look at the valuation of gold or silver, and that's enough proof to know that the value of the dollar has shrunk that equivalent amount, and that you need to do something. Because if a foreign currency exchange was X last year and it's now X this year, that means it's gone down in value, which means no matter how much money you make in your insurance, your IUL, your infinite banking, your whole life, your retirement accounts, your stock trade accounts, no matter what, we lost 25% last year. So if you made 20, you were still at a negative X of 5%. And you're thinking you balled it, you did this, you got this. I gave myself a loan on my IUL and now I'm tax free. No, you're not. No, you're not. You might think you are. You're actually losing money, okay? Because the valuations of your dollars in those policies are going down if it's pegged to the US dollar. Straight up. I'm just being honest with you. Get out of USD, get out of the retirement accounts, and get out of anything that is going to devalue, and that's the United States dollar. God bless. Hope you guys have a great week. Happy Thanksgiving. Look for my email coming out. We are doing a marketing campaign for the first time in years on the Living in the Private program. So look for an email and text blast to go out. If you're not already a member of HISAdvocates.org, go join now and tell your family members and friends about it. We help people with deeds. We help people with passports. We help people with asset protection. We do private everything. And we want to help you. God bless. Have a great Thanksgiving. Don't forget to pray before your meal and give God thanks, because that is a blessing to be able to eat. Have a great week, guys. Enjoy.